Hello students, welcome to the course on Basic Electronics Engineering and the course code is EC101. This is the course for BTech first semester CSE IT and FT students and second semester ECE students. Myself, Dr. Shurajit Bosak, who is the course coordinator, is the assistant professor of EC department, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology, Kolkata. And this is my official email address. So we are going to start the lecture number 8 from the module 5, that is feedback and operational amplifier. In the last class, we have discussed on inverting amplifier, non-inverting amplifier, and some applications, mathematical applications like addition or summing amplifier, differentiation, subtractor or differential amplifier, and a voltage follower circuit. Today, we are going to discuss some more applications of op-amp like differentiator, integrator. Next, we discuss on comparator and few numerical problems. And the lesson objective of today's topic is learn how operational amplifiers are modeled and analyzed and to design op-amp circuits to perform operations such as integration, differentiation on electronic signals. And this topic is mapped with CO number 2. So let us start lecture number 8 from the 5th module, that is feedback and operational amplifiers, with the applications of op-amp. So linear circuit applications of operational amplifier. First we discuss about differentiator circuit. Differentiator circuit using op-amp. So a differentiator circuit performs the mathematical operation of differentiation. That means the output waveform is basically the derivative of the input waveform. The difference circuit is formed by replacing the input resistance R1 of the inverting amplifier circuit by a capacitor C, and feedback resistance RF is denoted as simply R. So it is basically based on inverting amplifier where only a capacitor is replaced with R1. Now, again D is called the virtual ground because the infinite voltage gain of the op-amp makes point D as a virtual ground. So the charge on the capacitor C is therefore represented as, say, Q equal to C into Vs, where Vs is the input voltage source. Therefore, Vs equal to Q by C. Now differentiating both sides with respect to time, then we get dVs by dt equal to 1 by C dq dt. Now we know that dq dt is basically represents the current. So it is I by C, dvs by dt equal to I by C, where I is the current flowing through the capacitor. The input impedance of the op-amp being infinity, the current I also flows through the resistor R. Therefore, I is equal to minus V0 by I R. Just put this I value here and we can get V0 is equal to minus CR dVs by dt. So output, thus output voltage is proportional to the time rate of change of input voltage. So that is the differentiator circuit. See, the output is basically the proportional of the dVs by dt, that means rate of change of input voltage. And again minus sign comes due to based on inverting amplifier. So this expression indicates that the output voltage V0 is equal to RC times the negative instantaneous rate of change of the input voltage Vs with time. Now a cosine wave at the input of the differentiator produces a sine wave at the output. Similarly, a triangular wave at the input produces a square wave at the output. So this is called differentiator circuit. Next we move for the integrator circuit. Why it is called integrator? Because output is a proportional to the integration of input signal. We'll show you that I will show you that the output is proportional to the integration of the input signal. So an integrator is basically a modified inverting amplifier circuit in which the output voltage wave is the integral of the input voltage waveform. Now, if the feedback resistor RF in an inverting amplifier circuit is replaced by a capacitor C, then the circuit functions as an integrator. So this circuit shows an integrator circuit using op-amp. Just what is the difference between differentiator and integrator circuit? Just exchange of R and C. See, in the differentiator circuit, C capacitor is connected with the input source and R is the feedback resistance. But here, resistance is connected in the input source. Just exchange the R and C, we can easily get the integrator circuit. So the gain of the op-amp being infinity. So again the point D is called the virtual ground. The current I flowing through the resistance R is actually I is equal to Vs by R. The input impedance of the op-amp being infinity, the current I flows through the feedback capacitance C to produce the output voltage V0, which is equal to minus 1 by C 0 to T I dt. So it is minus 1 by CR, because I is equal to Vs by R. So minus 1 by CR integration over 0 to T Vs dt. Thus the output voltage is a scaled version of the integral of the input voltage. That is, the output voltage is directly proportional to the negative integral of the input voltage and inversely proportional to the time constant RC. For example, if the input to the integrator is a say sine wave, the output will be a cosine wave, and an input square wave will produce triangular wave at the output. The factor 1 by RC is known as integrator gain constant and has the dimension of frequency. So the output is basically the proportional to the integration of the input signal. That is why it is called, this circuit is called an integrator circuit. Okay. Next is a application of the op-amp that is actually called voltage comparator circuit, and it is widely used in communication purpose, particularly in digital communication. So what is voltage comparator? From the name you can guess that it actually compare the input voltage is actually compared with some reference voltage. Yes, the two voltage labels can be compared by using a voltage comparator circuit, the output of which indicates the greater of the two input voltages. Thus, it serves as a switching device, producing an output voltage when one input voltage is larger and another output voltage when the other input is larger. So op-amp functions as a comparator by operating it in the open loop condition and applying the two voltages to be compared to the inverting and the non-inverting inputs. If the voltage to the non-inverting input terminal, say V1, becomes slightly greater than the voltage to the inverting input terminal, say V2, the op-amp quickly switches to the maximum positive output voltage V, and if V2 is slightly greater than V1, the op-amp switches to the maximum negative output voltage, say minus V. So this behavior results from the very large open loop gain. The output voltage V0 switches when Vd equal to V1 minus V2 is almost 0. Now, as in the figure, this is the principle of comparator circuit. So, as in the figure, a DC source of voltage plus VR is connected to the inverting input, and a sinusoidal voltage Vs is equal to Vm sin omega t. It is considered as the input signal is considered as a sine wave. Vs equal to Vm sin omega t is applied to the non-inverting input. Now the comparator output voltage is displayed here. See, in carefully. When Vs exceeds Vr, that is the reference voltage. See, this is the reference voltage. When Vs, that is the input voltage, exceeds the reference voltage, the output voltage V0 switches to plus Vsat or plus V0. So V0 remains constant at Vset as long as Vs or Vs greater than V reference voltage. Now the comparator output switches to minus Vsat when Vs drops below Vr. See here in this 2 point, Vs drops below reference voltage. Now the comparator switches to minus Vsat. So the comparator acts as a zero crossing detector when the inverting or the non-inverting input terminal is grounded. The output voltage V0 switches to the maximum positive voltage V if the inverting input is grounded and the voltage Vs applied to the non-inverting input is slightly positive. And for slightly negative Vs, V0 switches to minus Vsat. The operation reverses when the non-inverting input is grounded. This operation is just reverse when the non-inverting input terminal is applied for the reference voltage Vr, just reverse of the voltage. So this is the principle of comparator circuit, and this is all about op-amp circuit. Now I'm going to discuss some numerical problems, and trust me, this type of numerical problems usually comes in semester examination. So first one is an inverting amplifier, which is shown below, in which an input voltage 2 volt is applied. What will be the output voltage? It's a very simple. So an inverting amplifier, already it is defined as say Vi equal to 2 volt, R1 equal to 4 kilo ohm, and Rf is 20 kilo ohm. So what will be the output voltage? First, you have to calculate the voltage gain. So for inverting amplifier, see, non-inverting terminal is grounded. So it is called inverting amplifier. And the gain of the inverting amplifier is minus Rf by R1. So minus Rf by R1, that means 20 by 4 is minus 5. So V0 is equal to, you know the value of the input voltage, that is 2 volt. So V0 is equal to gain AF into Vi. So that is minus 10 volt. So in that way, you can easily calculate the output voltage for inverting amplifier. Now, move for the another problem. It is very interesting problem. Obtain the closed loop gain CMRR in dB and maximum operating frequency for the non-inverting amplifier shown in the figure, whose common mode gain is 0.003 and slew rate is given, that is 0.2 volt per microsecond. So you have to determine. So first see, this is the check. It is a non-inverting amplifier because the voltage source is connected to the non-inverting terminal and inverting input terminal is grounded. And you have to find out the closed loop gain, CMRR, and maximum operating frequency, whereas common mode gain and slew rate is given. So in case of non-inverting amplifier, the gain is 1 plus RF by R1, and already RF and R1 is given. So first we have to determine the closed loop gain of non-inverting amplifier is AF is 1 plus RF by R1. So 1 plus RF is 140 kilo ohm and R1 is 7 kilo ohm. So that is the closed loop gain is 21. Next, you have to determine the CMRR in dB. That is 20 log differential voltage gain by common mode voltage gain. Now differential voltage gain is already determined, which is 21 AF, and common mode voltage gain is given, that is 0.003. When the so we calculate it, 20 log 10, 21 by 0.003, that will be 76.9 dB. Next is you have to determine the operating frequency, maximum operating frequency when the slew rate is given. Now remember that maximum operating frequency, F max, is basically determined as slew rate. It is a ratio of slew rate in the numerator, and in the denominator is 2 pi V peak. Peak to peak voltage is already given, input peak to peak voltage, that is 2.5 volt. And slew rate is also given, that is 0.2 volt per microsecond. See, the maximum operating frequency F max equal to slew rate by 2 pi Vm. Now Vin is given 2.5 volt peak to peak. And AF is already given, that is 21. So it is maximum or peak to peak output voltage is 2.5 into 21, that is 52.5. Therefore, peak output voltage Vm is 52.5 by 2, that is 26.25 volt. Now F max is the maximum operating frequency. You can determine, that is 0.2 into 10 to the power 6, because it is a volt per microsecond unit, by 2 pi into Vm 26.25. So F max is equal to 1.212 kilohertz. Okay. So practice this type of problem, and this type of problem usually comes in the semester examination. So this is all about operational amplifier, and we have completed now this module number 5. Okay, thank you so much. Now I am ending the session.